This morning, Prince William opening up in a rare and candid conversation about supporting both his wife Catherine and his father King Charles in their cancer journeys.
The future. King of England is facing the darkest period of his life. His wife is battling cancer. His father is fighting his own health crisis. His children are being robbed of their innocent childhood. And the one person he thought he'd have forever, the woman who raised him, guided him, and stood by his side through every storm, is slipping away before his eyes. This isn't the fairy tale we were promised. This is real life crashing into royalty with brutal, unforgiving force. And Prince William? He's barely holding it together. What you're about to watch isn't tabloid speculation or palace gossip. This is the heartbreaking reality of a family in crisis, struggling under pressures that would break most of us. Except they have to do it while the whole world watches. Stick with me, because this story gets darker before it gets lighter. And by the end, you'll understand exactly why insiders are saying this is the most difficult period in William's entire life. The perfect storm. Let me set the scene for you. It's late 2024, early 2025. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, heir to the British throne, is 42 years old. He has 3 beautiful children: Prince George, 11, Princess Charlotte, 9, and Prince Louis, 6. He has a devoted wife, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, who the world adores. On paper, his life looks perfect, privileged beyond measure, future king, beautiful family. What could possibly be wrong? Everything. Literally, everything. In the span of just 18 months, William's world has been shattered by a series of devastating blows that would break any man. January 2024. His wife Catherine undergoes major abdominal surgery. The palace says it's planned, non-cancerous. The public is told she'll be fine. February 2024. His father, King Charles III, is diagnosed with cancer. The palace is vague about details, but the word cancer echoes through every headline. March 2024. The bombshell. Catherine reveals in an emotional video that cancer was found during her surgery. She's undergoing preventative chemotherapy. The future Queen of England has cancer. Throughout 2024, William's children are thrust into a nightmare no child should face. Their mother is sick, their grandfather is sick, and the stability of their young lives is completely shattered. Ongoing. Rose Hanbury rumors resurface repeatedly, putting strain on William and Catherine's marriage during the worst possible time. Behind it all, William's relationship with his grandmother figure, someone he's relied on his entire life, is deteriorating as age and health take their toll. This is the perfect storm, and William is drowning in the middle of it. One palace insider told reporters, "William puts on a brave face for the cameras, but behind closed doors, he's devastated, absolutely devastated. He's watching his wife suffer through chemotherapy, his father battle cancer, and trying to keep his children from falling apart. It's too much for anyone." Catherine's cancer, the blow that changed everything. Let's start with the crisis that shocked the world. Kate's cancer diagnosis. On March 22, 2024, Catherine, Princess of Wales, released a video that broke hearts across the globe. Sitting on a bench in Windsor, looking thin and vulnerable, she spoke directly to the camera. "In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I am now in the early stages of that treatment." The world stopped. Kate, young, healthy, vibrant Kate, had cancer. For William, this wasn't just his wife's diagnosis, this was his entire future crumbling. Kate has been his rock since they met at St. Andrews University in 2001. She's the mother of his children, his partner in royal duties, the future queen, the woman he chose over royal protocol when he broke up with her briefly in 2007 and then realized he couldn't live without her. And now, she was fighting for her life. Now, here's what most people don't understand about William's reaction. This was his mother, all over again. Princess Diana died when William was just 15 years old. That trauma, walking behind her coffin, the flash of cameras, the public grief, the private devastation, shaped everything about who William became. He spent his entire adult life protecting his family from experiencing anything similar. And now, Kate has cancer. One royal biographer close to the family revealed, William was absolutely destroyed when Kate told him about the diagnosis. He broke down. This was his worst nightmare, losing another woman he loves, his children potentially losing their mother the way he lost his. The psychological terror of that parallel was overwhelming. The chemotherapy started immediately. Kate disappeared from public view. William had to step up royal duties while also being a full-time caretaker to his wife and father to 3 confused, scared children. Imagine being George, Charlotte, or Louis. Your mother, who's always been there, suddenly can't do normal things. She's tired constantly. She's sick from treatment. She can't attend school events or play with you the way she used to. Sources close to the family say Charlotte took it particularly hard. Charlotte is a sensitive child. One source revealed, she's very aware of her mother's pain. She's been having nightmares, asking questions that no 9-year-old should have to ask. William has had to comfort her multiple times, explaining in age-appropriate ways what's happening. George, as the eldest and future king, felt the weight differently. He became quiet, withdrawn, trying to be the man of the house at just 10 years old when the diagnosis came. Teachers at Lambrook School noticed the change in him. Louis, at just 5 when his mother was diagnosed, couldn't fully comprehend what was happening, which might have been a blessing. But he noticed Mommy was different, and that was scary enough. William's impossible balance. How do you be a husband, a father, a son to a sick father, and the future king, all while grieving and terrified? William had to maintain royal appearances while his wife was at home suffering through chemo side effects. Nausea, exhaustion, hair thinning, though Kate wore wigs and hats brilliantly in her few public appearances. And the psychological toll of wondering if the treatment would work. He had to smile for the cameras, attend state functions, represent the crown, all while his heart was breaking. One video clip from a royal engagement in spring 2024 went viral for showing the cracks. William was visiting a hospital. Ironic, considering his circumstances. And when a nurse asked how his family was doing, you can see him pause, his jaw clench, his eyes glisten for just a moment before he composes himself and says, "We're managing, thank you." Millions of people watching saw a man barely holding it together. King Charles's cancer, the double crisis. As if Kate's diagnosis wasn't enough, William was also dealing with his father's cancer battle. King Charles III was diagnosed with cancer in February 2024, discovered during treatment for an enlarged prostate. The palace has been deliberately vague about the type and severity, but the mere announcement sent shockwaves through the Commonwealth. For William, this created an impossible situation. His wife needs him, his father needs him, his children need him, and the country needs him to be the strong, stable heir. Here's what makes Charles's situation particularly complicated. William and Charles have had a complex relationship for years. They're closer now than they've ever been. But there's history. Charles was often absent during William's childhood, focused on his own struggles with Diana, and then his relationship with Camilla. William resented that. There were years of distance, of formal politeness rather than warmth. But in recent years, especially after the Queen's death and Charles becoming king. Their relationship had deepened. They were working together, planning the future of the monarchy together. William was preparing to be king, and Charles was teaching him. And then, cancer. Suddenly, William had to confront the possibility of losing his father much sooner than expected, of becoming king before he's ready, of his children losing their grandfather, of the weight of the crown landing on his shoulders while he's already crushed by Kate's illness. One constitutional expert noted, if Charles's condition worsens, William could find himself as king within a few years, possibly while Kate is still recovering or, God forbid, if her prognosis worsens. That would be an unprecedented crisis for the monarchy. The king continued working throughout his treatment, doing limited public engagements, determined to show strength. But reports from inside the palace suggest his fatigue is real, his condition is serious, and the future timeline of the monarchy has been thrown into uncertainty. For William, watching his father battle cancer, while his wife battles cancer, while trying to raise 3 kids and fulfill royal duties, is an impossible wait. He's living every day waiting for bad news, one friend of William's told a reporter. Every phone call could be the hospital. Every update could change everything. That kind of constant anxiety, it's destroying him slowly. The Rose Hanbury rumors, tabloid torture. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the Marchioness in the headlines. Rose Hanbury, the Marchioness of Cholmondeley, has been at the center of rumors about William for years. The speculation? That William had an affair with Rose while Kate was pregnant with Louis, back in 2019. The rumors have never been proven. William and Kate have never addressed them directly. Rose's lawyers have threatened legal action against outlets reporting the allegations. But the whispers persist, especially on social media. And they surged again in 2024, right when Kate was at her most vulnerable. When Kate underwent surgery and then revealed her cancer diagnosis, conspiracy theorists went wild. Why did Kate really disappear for months? Is the marriage in trouble? Where is Rose Hanbury during all this? Did William's alleged affair cause stress that contributed to Kate's health issues? The speculation was cruel, unfounded, and relentless. For William, this was salt in already gaping wounds. Here he was, terrified about his wife's health, trying to hold his family together, and the internet was accusing him of infidelity and suggesting he'd caused Kate's cancer through stress. One source close to the couple said, "The Rose rumors infuriate William. He's never publicly addressed them because giving them oxygen would only make it worse, but watching people accuse him of betraying Kate while she's fighting cancer, it's torturous. And Kate sees it too, which adds another layer of pain. Whether there's any truth to the affair allegations or not, and the lack of evidence suggests not, the rumor mill has created real damage. Trust issues in any marriage are complicated. Trust issues when your wife has cancer and the whole world is watching your every move? Devastating. Kate's perspective. Imagine undergoing chemotherapy, feeling vulnerable and sick, and reading online speculation that your husband cheated on you with a family friend. Even if you don't believe it, the constant barrage takes a psychological toll. Friends of Kate insist she trusts William completely, that the rumors are baseless, and that they've actually brought the couple closer as they fight together against both cancer and gossip. But the fact that these rumors keep resurfacing, especially during their most vulnerable moments, is its own form of cruelty. The children. Stolen innocence. Let's talk about what this is doing to George, Charlotte, and Louis. These 3 children, who should be worried about school exams, sports matches, and what's for dinner, are instead living through trauma that will shape them forever. For Prince George, at 12 years old, he's old enough to understand that his mother has cancer and his grandfather has cancer. He's also old enough to understand his future role as king, which means he comprehends that his mother is the future queen and his father is the future king. And right now, both of their health situations are uncertain. Reports from Lambrook School suggest George has become more serious, more withdrawn. He's not the carefree boy he was a year ago. He's carrying adult worries on child shoulders. One teacher, speaking anonymously, said, "You can see it in his eyes. There's a heaviness there that wasn't present before. He's still polite, still hardworking, but the joy has dimmed." As for Princess Charlotte, she's reportedly the most emotional of the three about her mother's illness. At 10, she's at an age where she understands sickness but not mortality, which might make it scarier in some ways. Charlotte has always been close to Kate, often described as a mini-me in personality. Watching her mother suffer has been traumatic. She's had nightmares. She's been clingy. She asks questions like, "Will Mommy die?" And William has to answer them without breaking down. One heartbreaking report claimed that Charlotte wrote her mother a letter during treatment, saying she wanted to give Kate some of her own healthy cells to make her better. That's the kind of innocent, devastating love that shows exactly what this family is enduring. And then, for Prince Louis, at 7, he's the youngest and perhaps the most protected from the full reality. But even Louis knows something is very wrong. His routine has been disrupted. His mother isn't herself. The household feels different. Reports suggest Louis has been acting out more, not in terrible ways, but in the way children do when they're scared and don't have the words to express it. Extra tantrums, more clinginess, regression in certain behaviors. William and Kate have tried desperately to maintain normalcy, regular school schedules, family dinners, movie nights. But cancer doesn't care about routine. One of the most painful aspects for William is guilt. He feels guilty that he can't protect his children from this. Guilty that they're experiencing trauma similar to what he experienced losing Diana. Guilty that their childhood innocence has been stolen. William has said to close friends that his greatest failure is not being able to shield his children from pain. One source revealed, he knows it's not his fault, but the guilt is overwhelming nonetheless. The grandmother. He's losing. Carole Middleton's decline. Here's the heartbreak that hasn't gotten enough attention. Carole Middleton's health. Carole Middleton, Kate's mother, has been a stabilizing force in William's life since he married Kate. She's become the grandmother figure he lost when Diana died, and a maternal presence more warm and present than what he experienced with his own family growing up. Carole and her husband Michael have been intimately involved with George, Charlotte, and Louis's lives. They're at Anmer Hall constantly. They host the family at their Berkshire home. They've provided the normal family life that William craved but never fully had. But in late 2023 and into 2024, sources close to the family suggest Carole's health has been declining. The specifics haven't been made public, but reports hint at age-related issues. She's 70. Possibly early signs of cognitive decline or other serious health concerns. For William, this is yet another pillar of support, crumbling. Carole has been like a second mother to William, one friend explained. She's shown him what normal family life looks like. She's been there for his children in ways his own family couldn't be. Watching her health decline while Kate is sick and Charles is sick, it's like everyone he depends on is falling apart simultaneously. The Middleton family has stayed notably more private about Carole's situation than the palace has about Charles's cancer, which suggests they're protecting something serious. One particularly heartbreaking detail is that Kate's cancer diagnosis has reportedly accelerated whatever health issues Carole is facing. The stress of watching her daughter battle cancer, of trying to help care for her grandchildren during this crisis, of holding her own family together. It's taken a visible toll. William has been photographed visiting the Middleton family home more frequently, often without Kate, while she was recovering, suggesting he's checking on Carole and providing support to his in-laws. Normally, grandparents provide support during family crises. But now William finds himself having to support the very people who've always supported him, while also supporting his wife, his father, and his children. It's an impossible emotional equation. The weight of the crown, William's impossible burden. Let's talk about what makes William's situation uniquely difficult. He can't just be a husband and father dealing with family health crises. He's the heir to the throne. Even during the worst of Kate's treatment, William had to attend state functions, host foreign dignitaries, represent the crown at official events amongst many other responsibilities. There's no calling in sick when you're royalty. There's no taking time off to deal with family issues. The crown doesn't stop, and neither can he. One particularly cruel moment came in May 2024, when William had to attend a glamorous royal event, smiling, shaking hands, making small talk, knowing that just hours earlier, Kate had been violently ill from chemotherapy. The photos from that event show William smiling, but body language experts noted the dead eyes. He was physically present, but emotionally somewhere else entirely. With Charles's cancer diagnosis, the timeline of succession has become uncertain. William might need to step up to more royal responsibilities sooner than expected. He might need to prepare for regency duties if Charles becomes too ill to serve. The pressure of that preparation, while his personal life is in chaos, is staggering. Constitutional expert Robert Hardman noted, "William is in an unprecedented position. He's preparing to potentially become king while his wife battles cancer. His children struggle with trauma, and his own emotional reserves are depleted." History has never seen quite this convergence of personal and constitutional crisis for an heir. The British public, and the global audience, expects William to be strong, stoic, and competent. They need him to represent stability during uncertain times. But William is human. He's grieving. He's terrified. He's exhausted. The mask he has to wear, the Prince of Wales persona, becomes heavier every day. The marriage under siege. Let's address what all this pressure is doing to William and Kate's marriage. By all accounts from people close to the couple, the cancer crisis has actually brought them closer together. Kate has said William has been her rock. Through treatment, William has been by her side through every chemotherapy session he could attend, holding her hand, bringing her favorite foods when she could eat, sitting with her through the bad nights. But crisis either strengthens a marriage or breaks it, and the pressure they're under would test any relationship. But according to friends, William and Kate have fought hard to maintain their connection. They've had therapy. The palace would never confirm this, but sources suggest both individual and couples counseling. They've prioritized time together when Kate feels well enough. They've been brutally honest with each other about their fears. One friend revealed, Kate told William early in her diagnosis that she needed him to talk to her, not protect her from his feelings. She said they'd get through this together, or not at all. But silence would kill them faster than cancer. That conversation changed everything. William, who has a tendency to bottle emotions, has had to learn to be vulnerable, to cry, to admit he's scared, to say, "I don't know if I can do this," and let Kate say, "You can, and I'm here." Their marriage is being tested in the forge, but from all indications, it's emerging stronger, different, scarred, but stronger. The Harry factor, family estrangement during crisis. We can't discuss William's heartbreak without mentioning the Harry-shaped hole in his support system. Prince Harry, William's younger brother, was once his closest confidant. They survived Diana's death together. They protected each other. They were a unit. Now, they barely speak. The rift, caused by Harry's departure from royal life. The Oprah interview, the Netflix documentary, Harry's memoir, Spare, has left William without his brother exactly when he needs him most. Think about that. William's wife has cancer. His father has cancer. And his brother, the person who should understand better than anyone what he's going through, is thousands of miles away in California, and they're essentially estranged. Sources suggest there have been attempts at reconciliation, particularly after Kate's diagnosis became public. Harry reportedly reached out. But the wounds are deep, the trust is broken, and meaningful reconciliation hasn't happened. One royal commentator noted, "William is privately furious with Harry for not being there during this crisis. Not necessarily physically there, but emotionally available. He feels Harry chose his new life over family when family needed him most. That resentment runs deep." Meanwhile, Harry reportedly feels shut out, like his attempts to reach out have been rebuffed, like William is punishing him by not accepting his support. The truth is probably that both brothers are right and wrong, wounded and wounding. But the result is the same. William is facing the darkest period of his life without his brother by his side. Multiple sources have said that if Princess Diana were alive, she would be devastated by her son's estrangement. She raised them to be each other's support system, to protect one another. Instead, they're on opposite sides of an ocean and opposite sides of a bitter divide, exactly when they should be together. The September announcement. Kate's update. On September 9, 2024, Kate released another video message that had the world holding its breath. Looking healthier than she had in months, wearing a simple white shirt and jeans, she announced, "As the summer comes to an end, I cannot tell you what a relief it is to have finally completed my chemotherapy treatment. The last 9 months have been incredibly tough for us as a family. Life as you know it can change in an instant, and we have had to find a way to navigate the stormy waters and road unknown." She was done with chemotherapy. The relief was global, but her message continued with important caveats. "Although I have finished chemotherapy, my path to healing and full recovery is long, and I must continue to take each day as it comes. I am, however, looking forward to being back at work and undertaking a few more public engagements in the coming months when I can." Meaning that she's not cured, she's not out of the woods. She's done with this round of treatment, but full recovery is uncertain and far off. For William, this was both relief and continued terror. The immediate crisis had passed, but the shadow of cancer still looms. Will it come back? What will the long-term effects be? Can they truly relax and believe she's okay? The answer? No. Not really. Not for a long time. Cancer survivors and their families live with permanent anxiety. Every scan, every checkup, every weird symptom could be the return of nightmare. William and Kate will live with that fear for years, probably forever. Reports suggest George, Charlotte, and Louis were cautiously optimistic after Kate's announcement. Mommy was done with the medicine that makes her sick, which they could understand. But they're also old enough, especially George and Charlotte, to sense their parents' remaining anxiety. One source said that Kate sat down with the children and explained that she still needs to rest a lot, that she can't do everything she used to do yet, but that she's getting better. She was honest without being scary. But the kids aren't stupid. They know their mother is still fragile. Where things stand now. So here we are, in late 2025. Where do things stand for Prince William and his family? As for Kate, she's in recovery, slowly returning to some public engagements, but still dealing with fatigue, anxiety about recurrence, and the long process of healing, physically and emotionally. Then there's King Charles, still battling cancer, still working but reduced schedule, still uncertain prognosis. And for the children, they're traumatized but resilient, being supported through therapy and family stability efforts, but fundamentally changed by what they've experienced. Also, Carole Middleton's health concerns continuing, providing what support she can, but dealing with her own challenges. And there's Prince William, exhausted, emotionally depleted, but still standing, still performing royal duties, still being the rock for everyone else, still carrying weight that would crush most people. The heartbreak for Prince William's family isn't a single event. It's the accumulation of crises, the relentless pressure, the fear that never truly goes away even when things improve. It's waking up every morning wondering if today will bring bad news. It's watching your children lose their innocence to trauma. It's being strong for everyone else when you're falling apart inside. It's facing the very real possibility that you might lose the people you love most while the entire world watches your grief. The speculation. What's next? Royal watchers and palace insiders are asking the same questions. Will Kate fully recover? The hope is yes, but cancer is unpredictable. The type of cancer hasn't been disclosed, which makes prognosis difficult to assess. The next 2 to 5 years will be critical for determining if she's truly cancer-free. How much longer does Charles have? Again, the palace has been deliberately vague. Some speculate Charles has years left. Others worry the situation is more serious than being admitted. If Charles's health deteriorates rapidly, William could become king much sooner than anyone planned. Will this trauma break William? Mental health experts. Note that William is showing signs of immense stress. He's lost weight. His hair has grayed noticeably. Though he's already balding, the remaining hair has gone significantly grayer. He looks older than his 42 years. The question is whether he has adequate support systems to prevent emotional collapse. Can the marriage survive? Most experts believe yes, that shared trauma often strengthens bonds. But the long-term impacts of this level of stress on any relationship are unpredictable. Will William and Harry reconcile? Unlikely in the near term. The wounds are too fresh, the hurt too deep. But perhaps in the future, especially if another crisis forces them together. What about the children's mental health? This is perhaps the biggest concern. George, Charlotte, and Louis have experienced trauma that will affect them for life. How they process it, how they're supported through it will determine their long-term well-being. The palace has resources, but royal children don't always get the emotional support they need. William and Harry are proof of that. The human behind the crown. Here's what I want you to understand. Prince William is not a character in a drama or a figure in a pageant. He's a man, a husband, a father, a son. He bleeds when cut. He cries when hurt. He breaks when pushed too far. The only difference between William and any of us is that he has to do his suffering in public, with cameras watching, with duties calling, with a crown waiting. Everything I've described, Kate's cancer, Charles's cancer, the children's trauma, the family estrangement, the marriage strain, the crushing weight of royal expectations, would destroy most people. William is still standing, but he's not unbreakable. Every photo of him now shows the cost. The lines around his eyes are deeper. The forced smiles are more obviously forced. The weight of carrying everyone else's pain is visible in his posture. One body language expert who analyzed recent footage of William said, "He's a man in survival mode. Every gesture is measured, controlled, because if he lets go, even for a moment, he might completely fall apart." A rare moment of vulnerability. In October 2025, William did something unusual during a visit to a youth organization. A young person asked him, "How do you stay strong when everything is hard?" William paused. For several seconds, he said nothing. His eyes welled up slightly. His jaw clenched. Then he said, "You find your people, the ones who love you no matter what. You hold on to them. And you remember that strength isn't about never falling down. It's about getting back up even when you don't want to. Especially when you don't want to." The room was silent. The young people stared at this future king being more human than they'd ever seen a royal be. One person in the room later said, "In that moment, he wasn't the Prince of Wales. He was just a tired man trying to survive. And it was the most real thing I've ever witnessed." Conclusion. The crown and the cross. The British monarchy has survived for over 1,000 years through wars, scandals, revolutions, and crises. It survives because the people wearing the crown sacrifice their personal happiness for duty. Prince William is paying that price right now. His wife battled cancer while he carried on working. His father battles cancer while he prepares to one day be king. His children suffer trauma while he maintains a public image of stability. His own emotional health deteriorates while he supports everyone else. This is the cost of the crown. This is the cross he bears. And the heartbreak? It's not that this is happening to royals. It's that this would be devastating happening to anyone. But William has to endure it while also being a symbol, a figurehead, a future sovereign. He can't just be a husband scared for his wife. He has to be the Prince of Wales attending state dinners. He can't just be a father comforting traumatized children. He has to be the heir representing the crown. He can't just be a son worried about his dying father. He has to be the future king preparing to rule. The crown demands everything, and William is giving it, at tremendous personal cost. So when you see photos of Prince William smiling at some royal event, remember what's behind that smile. Remember the wife recovering from cancer. Remember the father fighting cancer. Remember the children dealing with trauma. Remember the brother on another continent. Remember the grandmother figure fading. Remember the weight of an entire monarchy on his shoulders. Remember that behind the Prince of Wales is just William, a man trying desperately to hold his family together while his world falls apart. That's the heartbreaking news for Prince William's family. Not just one devastating blow, but an accumulation of crises that would break most of us. He's still standing, but he's not okay, and pretending otherwise does him no favors. The future king is human, and right now, that human is hurting in ways most of us can't imagine. And that, above all else, is heartbreaking. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a heart for King Williams in the comments section, and also like and subscribe for more updates on Prince Williams and the royal family.